Welcome to Cooking with Christina and welcome to my kitchen. Today we are going to be making what I like to call a simple Sgetti. So it is a spaghetti but with fresh vegetables and it does not take very much time at all. So this is kind of a recipe to use in a pinch, and you can use like any vegetables that you want in it, so it's kind of a clean out the refrigerator sort of recipe as well. I'm going to add in some garlic, 3 cloves to be exact, and I'm going to saute that up in some olive oil just to get that caramelized just a little bit so that we can really bring out that garlicky flavor. So I'm just going to roughly chop it just because I like to have big chunks of garlic in this recipe so that it's not just garlic throughout, but you get like a big chunk of garlic, which is like super, super yummy. So I'm just going to throw this in the pan. With a little bit of olive oil. And I put in about 2 tablespoons just because I'm going to be using it for some other things as well. So I'm going to put that on medium-low heat just so that we can get some nice even heat. I'm going to start on our fresh veggies. I'm going to start with a yellow pepper. I like to use a pepper that's other than red because we're going to be using tomatoes, and I just like to have a really colorful pasta, so I use some different colors. You can use red pepper if you want to, or orange, whatever you want to do. I just like yellow just because it's such a pretty color. To chop up our tomatoes. We have 1 tomato from our garden. All the other ones are still green, but it's really fun that we get to use this one ripe one. So we're just going to slice these lengthwise, and then I'm going to quarter them. All right, I'm gonna cut up 1 more. Set these aside. All right, and we're going to chop up some onion as well. And just a little bit of onion, just enough to give it a little bit of flavor. And I like to leave these pieces big because sometimes they just get lost in the pasta if they get too small. They all fall to the bottom and then you don't even get the flavor. And I'm gonna add those in with the garlic because it's all caramelized now a little bit. I'm going to add the onion and I'm going to add the peppers as well. All right, and I'm just going to saute that until the peppers have gotten just a little bit tender. Not too much because I still want them to have a little bit of crunch. So we're just going to wait for those to saute, and as we wait, I'm going to chop up some basil. All right, so now I'm going to just chop up the basil. I've got about 15 basil leaves here, and I'm just going to roll them and slice them so then you get nice little basil ribbons. So I'm going to add some noodles. I've already prepared some noodles, but just regular spaghetti noodles. And I'm just going to put those in there. And I'm going to put a little bit more olive oil in there just to loosen up the noodles. I'm going to put a little bit of crushed red pepper in. I like to put this in towards the beginning in the middle just so that it can get mixed in there so that the flavor does come out into the noodles and into the oil a little bit so that you get that taste throughout instead of just getting these hot pockets. right, so I'm gonna add in our tomatoes. So I add the tomatoes in at the end, just so that they can just get a little bit warm. Then they don't cook so much and they don't get all cooked down and flimsy. I like to keep them pretty crunchy just so that they are still an actual piece of tomato instead of just a sauce. I'm gonna put a little bit of Parmesan cheese just for some flavor. Just that salty nuttiness. Not too much though, so that it's super cheesy. Cheesy. All right, so we're just gonna mix that in there. All right, the last thing that I'm gonna put in is the basil. I put this in at the very, very end so that it doesn't get too wilty and it just completely disappears. So I just mix this in right at the end, right before I take it off the heat. Alrighty, and I think it's done. Finish it with a little bit of crushed red pepper on top, along with a little bit more Parmesan cheese. All right, and there we go. There's some simple Sgetti. It's a great way to use some fresh garden veggies and herbs. So I'm just gonna add in some garlic and saute that up just to get that, back up a little bit. And then I'm gonna add in some chicken as well. I'm not gonna add in chicken. I don't know why I said that. So I'm just going to, oh, gotcha, sorry. Okay.